All right, ladies and gentlemen, you need 2 sheets of paper and the assignment that in wit I have printed out and it's posted on Canvas. Yesterday, we got to document 5. Okay, looking at document 5, what's the historical context? Let's do this quickly because the faster I go, the better your life is. What's the historical context? What do you got, Taylor? They break up at prom. What's the audience for 5, Scott? No. Who's the audience, Henry?
Like people want to hear about what happened. Because it's like a testimonial.
No. Friar?
So like Nathan.
Like it was a public display, right? That's how he's involved. He's a complete rando who just happened to see it and write it down, yes? So it's anyone who was around who could have watched this go down. Purpose. What is the purpose of it, Virginia? There you go. Shows that all the problems were bubbling to the surface, correct? Okay? It's not just one thing, it's multiple things. What's the point of view of this, Catherine?
I said that Philip danced with Danny and argued with Sadie over the paper for
That's not the point of view. What's the bubbling underneath? Like, what is the real driving force here? What do you got, Hayden?
I said that both Sadie and Philip made mistakes in their relationship.
Oh, how diplomatic, but no. How about the fact, what do you got, Micah? Same thing as what? No. Chris? Sort of. Guys, at the end of the day, who is he sympathetic towards? Who's the only one he remembers the name of? Philip. He remembers Philip and doesn't remember Sadie's name, yes? He is sympathetic to Philip. He showed that Philip did not want to break up with Sadie, yes? Does that make sense? Talks about how sad he is. Even sounds empathetic towards Philip, yes? Okay. Why is this significant? How does it tie back to the prompt? What do we got? James?
So that it shows Philip was the guy that tipped it over the edge, but it didn't seem Sadie.
Sort of. Okay, so there was obviously, I mean, he's not guiltless here, but it also shows that Philip is devastated, correct? His whole night is ruined. He's the one upset throughout the whole thing. Here we go. 6. Flip it. Okay, who can summarize the document? What's the document? Taylor? Okay, it's not just a post, girl. What is this? It's kind of like, huh? Yeah, I mean, okay, so if I posted this photo of someone other than my husband, how do you think the rest of the world would think about my household? Things going well or not so well? Not so well. So is Danny fully on trying to cause some problems here? Yes, absolutely, okay? No one would be thrilled if this was their significant other being posted on someone else's social media. Can we agree? Here we go. What's the historical context? What do you got, Hayden? Yeah, they're about 2 years. We're about 4 or 5 months away from the breakup. So things are heading in that direction. Who's the audience for this, Izzy?
Danny's followers.
Okay, Danny's followers. It's the public. I mean, it looks pretty public. I think you all know way better than I do. Once you put something, even on a private account, it's going to go everywhere, yes? People are going to take photos of it and submit it to even other people. Okay, purpose. What is the purpose of the piece, Ansley?
It shows how interested Danny was in Philip because she's posting about him and even add a heart on the...
My girl's thirsty. She is publicly going for it and shooting her shot. So compliments for going after what you want, but, you know, maybe not the ideal look, but my girl's thirsty. Here we go. Here, what is the point of view of the piece, Maggie?
I said that it shows that Philip maybe hasn't been as loyal as the other doctors.
Damn. Shit, girl. How do you get that from that?
Well, because she used a heart emoji.
Damn. So another girl puts a heart and you're automatically thinking your man is cheating on you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Damn. Okay. I wouldn't go that severe. Anyone else have another interpretation? What are we thinking, Parker?
That Daddy's trying to anger Sadie by posting about her boyfriend, although she knows like Sadie will be mad about it.
Yeah, and probably what? Probably break up. Yeah, if she's putting hearts and all that stuff, maybe she's hoping she's Maggie and will cause a breakup immediately. There you go. Okay, I like that, though. I like the protectiveness. Go for it, girl. All right, why is it significant? Has to tie back to the prompt, Joseph.
I guess like Philip is letting like Danny like cross boundaries, I guess.
Well, if someone posts a photo of you, do you have control over that?
Not really, but
No, of course not. Of course not. Unless you're dating Maggie and then she's going to be all over it. Most people would not hold you accountable for that. But what does it show us about Philip, though? Come on, guys. I have other things I have to do. We got to make sure we're all on the same page before we move forward. Taylor. What has Philip done wrong in this? He's done nothing wrong. Philip has done nothing wrong. Hayden.
You can see how he's like still stay friends with you. Like he's still like friends with you. Even though
Tori, what are we seeing here?
Well, I said clearly he's doing something.
Oh, shit! People! Does anyone have Philip's side here besides me? Oh, my God. Help your boy out, James.
I just said that he's getting attention from other girls and like
Yes.
pursued by them.
Yes, he's being pursued by other people. Actively and flagrantly. Okay? Is that his fault that she's posting this? Oh, my God. Woof. Here we go. Document number 7. Summarize the document for me. What do we got, Neil?
It's a picture of them. It looks like on a party bus, and it says, "I'm the best of my life for the worst." I guess this is post breakup.
What is the most important thing about this picture here, people? Even the old lady in the room, that would be me, knows this. So if I know this, you should all know the story.
There's a snake over the girls.
And yeah, there's a snake, which means lovely things or terrible things. Terrible things, okay? Now, when was this picture taken? Pre or post? Pre. The picture is taken pre, because everyone's smiling and happy. Yeah, she takes the photo. Yeah, with the snake emoji. Do you need me to tell you about your generation and Snapchat? Would you like me to educate you?
It was taken before.
Yeah, it was taken before.
Why was he with Danny though? That's what I don't get.
Oh, then maybe I need a tutorial. So it has to be.
it's like at the moment.
So,
You can post it to your story.
oh, so this is an old person who made
But
this.
it was sent to.
No, but he still had before.
Yeah, because if it was sent to her friend,
says
she
from
had to have taken
approximately-
that
Turned off
after.
her phone.
If it was sent to somebody, like I see if it was like a story, you can take a picture, save it, and then edit it later. If it was sent to her friend, that means that she took it.
Well,
edited
no,
it,
I think, okay, so the original Snapchat went out with, well, this is like the best night of my life. So I don't know. Anyway.
She said she sent it 30 minutes after leaving. Says post.
Sure. Okay, moving forward. What's the historical context? Broke up. Who's the audience? Kaylee, the friend. So it is her truthful thoughts if it's her friend. Purpose. What is the purpose, Chris? Sort of. It shows how upset Sadie is, correct? The fact that she's drawing snakes on other people's face. I've never drawn a snake on another person's face. So, I mean, I've never apparently been that angry. And what is the point of view? What is the point of view here? What do you got, Gattaky?
It shows how Sadie's blaming Danny for it.
There you go. She's putting the blame here. All right, on one of the sheets of paper I told you to pick out, you need to have, I know I have stuff on the board over there. I wouldn't go copying that down because it's not going to be the same thing. Is everyone hearing me on that one? Okay. So, on your separate sheet of paper, you're writing grouping, docs, and how it answers the prompt. Oh, because you can't see what I'm doing. Oh, that makes sense. Here we go. How it answers the prompt. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, we can make 2 groups or we can make 3 groups. So, after you finish annotating all your documents, and I wanted to go through the documents really quick so make sure we're all on the same page. So let's go. We now have our chart, and at the bottom, I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why am I writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? There's 7 documents. Here we go. So once you have finished annotating all of the documents, now you have to group the documents. You have to group the documents because you need to come up with an argument. Okay, now looking at your Hemmler history that I handed you, we're going to talk about this more in depth tomorrow, but I wanted to give it to you today so you would have this resource as you are writing tonight. Here we go. So we're going to start the whole writing process, but in order to start the writing process, we have to plan. Okay, so we have to start grouping the documents. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have to argue and evaluate the extent to which Philip's actions contributed to the decline and collapse of the relationship with Sadie. So what we need to do is now take those documents and utilize them to come up with an argument. We need to have 2 or 3 groups that we can group these documents into. I honestly think the easiest groupings, what are ways we can group these documents, ladies and gentlemen? What are ways we can do it? What are some arguments within these documents? Cassidy. Okay, academics cause breakup. Okay. What else is another way we can look at these documents? Fryer.
Like things that involve Danny.
Okay, Danny's involvement. Okay, and can we come up with a third one? What do you got?
Outside sources.
Outside influences. Now the only thing is Danny's technically an outside, right? Would we consider that, or are we talking, like, what are you referring to when you say outside influences?
Well, because there's 2 documents where it's people that aren't even related to it at all that are talking about it, and Danny clearly plays a role in this because she shows up in almost all of them.
Yeah.
So it's like someone different.
Okay, I think we need to kind of clarify a little bit better than saying outside. I know where you're going, and there is definitely validity there. We just got to clean it up. What's another way we can kind of group? Parker? Try it. Let's hear it.
I was gonna say teachers, but if they're one of the kids.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, evaluate the extent to which Philip's actions contributed to the decline. What do you got, Henry?
Maybe bystanders, maybe?
No, because we don't want it. Okay, so academics is a huge one. Danny's involvement, and then poor decision making, maybe? Let's do that. Let's do poor decision making. Okay, so these are our 3 groups. Now what we have to do is we have to look at every single document and put them in a group. Every single document needs to be in there. Now you can look at my wall all you want because we did not follow those groups, did we? So we're doing a different one. So here we go. Open it up, figure out what group these documents can go in quickly, because you're writing an essay tonight. You want me to start it. Let's go. Speak out loud. What group can, what document?
Document 1 goes in the academic.
Document 3 goes.
Okay, let's look at document 1 for academics. Okay, it's there. Yes, I mean, there's no other way to put that anywhere else. Got it. Let's look at document 2. What group? Danny. So I've now put document 1 and document 2 in a group. So at the very bottom, I'm going to cross them off so I know that they've been used. Is everyone clear on that? Here we go. Let's look at 3. Where can we put it? Poor decision for 3.
Academic? It's academic, so talking about her grades.
But it was more about arriving on time and stuff like that, less about actual grades.
Okay, we can put 3. All right. Everyone okay with 3?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at 4. 4 is definitely academics. So let's cross off 3 and 4 off the bottom, of course. Let's look at 5.
Yeah, poor decision. Or Danny's involvement.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I would say Danny's involvement.
yeah, document 6 is Danny's involvement.
Yeah.
So you could say
What was
Yeah,
about
the
Danny?
email was also about academics because they were talking about the NHS.
Come in.
I think you could say poor decision though because we see how both of them like messed up. Because we see how Philip was dancing with the girl, but then Sadie basically called him stupid. So like,
I say poor decision.
You guys figure out. What group? What are you looking for? Your schedule? It's on my desk. It's a blue paper. Look for it there. What?
I would say
poor decision.
Poor decision. Are we okay with poor decision? Okay, document 5 is going in poor decision. Perfect.
6 is Danny's.
6 is definitely Danny's involvement. Oof. And then 7, where are we putting it?
Danny's involvement.
Okay. All right. Where we're going with that. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So, we have created 3 groups that are trying to... You find it, Cameron? Perfect. So, we've created 3 groups. We're trying to answer. Evaluate the extent to which Philip's actions. What is the most important thing that we focus on? Philip's actions contribute to the decline and collapse of his relationship with Sadie. So, looking at documents 1 and 4 in academics, we have to tie how the academics to the extent of Philip's actions. Okay, we need to make it. So, here we go. Philip's actions contributed to the decline of his relationship with Sadie. Bless you. Because document 1 is showing, I'm opening up document 1 and I'm looking at it because that's the document I have here. Document 1 shows that her grades declined because of their involvement. So here we go. Philip's actions contributed to the decline of his relationship with Sadie because her grades decreased and I'm looking at document 4 now. I'm making sure I'm looking at him before. And his actions created academic dishonesty. Okay, so what I am doing is I am looking at my theme that we have, my groupings. I'm tying it back to the prompt. So Philip's actions contributed to the decline of his relationship with Sadie because of her grades. Her grades decreased, while his actions created academic dishonesty. Ladies and gentlemen, that sentence is going to be the topic sentence of my first body paragraph. Is everyone seeing what we're doing here? We're trying to make sure we're tying it back to the prompt. We're going to be using it here in a second. Now what you're going to do is you're going to talk to someone directly near you. You're not getting up and moving across the room. You are going to write the next title sentence. Now keep in mind, this is going to be the topic sentence of your second body paragraph. You need to be using the prompt. So it should start off with Philip's actions contributed, right? That makes sense? And then you're going to discuss. Make sure you're looking at all 3 of these documents. Go. Talk to your neighbor. Go.
lack of boundaries too,
Yeah, with someone who didn't respond.
3, 2. This is why you're just sitting right there. Here we go. Cutting back. Okay, so who's got a good one for Danny's involvement? Who's got a good idea going forward? Because we got to get this going because I got to start writing, so you have less writing to do. You want my help. What do you got? Wesley?
Philip's actions contributed to the decline of their relationship because he was communicating with a girl that wants him on social media and other sites and letting them post her.
Okay, yes. But we want to think a little bit bigger than just doing like posting pictures, like creating jealousy. Does that make sense? Yes, we want to have it because we want kind of more themes because we're going to go into the details later. Yes? Okay, so instead of saying that he copied an essay, his actions created academic dishonesty. Do you see what we're doing there? We're not just saying flatly what they did. We're trying to create themes that we're going to elaborate on. Okay, so because of Sadie's relationship with Sadie, because of jealous, what do we got? Hayden?
I said because he was directly involving himself with someone who didn't respect him.
Okay, because of creating jealousy. Perfect. We want to keep it simple, short, and go from there. Creating jealousy. Okay. Created jealousy. What else about it? What do you got, Izzy?
Not have lack of boundaries.
Lack of boundaries is a great answer. Lack of boundaries because it's kind of vague, but it shows that there's a. And what else? What else do we get from the third document? Anything else, Taylor? And a lack of loyalty. Perfect. Okay. Do you see what we're doing? We're not getting into the nuts and bolts of the documents, but we are clearly using those documents to layer on all of the things Philip did. Okay, look at your final one. Do that now. Talk to your buddy. Go.
Okay, so he is like her like distracted by the same thing she was passionate about. And then like umbrella for the fifth one would be like
Should we mention the fact that this trace of separation is like showing up late? And so this is about
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Does anyone have a good one for 3? What do you got, Parker?
Philip's actions contributed to the decline of the relationship with him and Sadie because due to his involvement with her, he shifted her priorities elsewhere.
What document are you referring to?
3, how she's not showing up and turning stuff in.
I think we can clean it up. You're right, but we can clean it up a little bit. Ansley?
I said that their relationship, because he had a bad influence on Sadie, causing him to cheat and stalk on her.
Oh, shit. Is she cheating them?
Well, plagiarize her.
He was the one. What do you got? Catherine?
I put neglecting her priorities and not prioritizing the relationship.
Which one is prioritizing the relationship?
Because he was hanging out with Danny at the dance, so it's like.
But we're looking at 5.
Yeah, 3 and 5.
Oh, hello. Okay, yeah. Because how about poor decision making because lack of awareness of Sadie's feelings? How about that? Sadie's feelings. And so that addresses 5. And then 3. And the lack of and shifting, because we're blaming Philip, remember? Because Philip's actions contributed to the decline of his relationship with Sadie because of the lack of awareness of Sadie's feelings, fine. And shifting Sadie's focus, causing conflicts. It's not my best, but it will work. Okay, so here we go. We have now officially taken 7 documents and we have now officially grouped them. It takes time to group them and it takes a lot of thought to group them, but once you group them, the essay is easier to write long term. Yes? Okay, now keep in mind, everything that we've done so far, you're supposed to do in an hour. We haven't even put our pen to paper and nothing can be scored as of yet. We have accomplished nothing specifically and that can be scored. So keep that in mind. This is how cumbersome and how overbearing this essay is. Here we go. So this is when you're really going to start using the Himmler's history, which we're really going to focus on tomorrow. So today, right now, I'm going to write for you a thesis, and you're just going to copy it down and go from it. Today, you, tonight, for homework, are really doing your body paragraphs, yes? That is what you are responsible for. I'm going to write your thesis, your contextualization, and I'm going to start your essay. Okay, I'm going to start your first body paragraph so you can kind of see how it goes. Your job is to finish the essay tonight. Is everyone clear on that? Okay, what?
So we have 3 bodies?
Yeah, there's 3 bodies paragraphs because you have 3 groups.
Yeah.
No, there's no conclusion. There's never been, never will. Okay, so looking at your Himmler, you need to be using this as a reference. I posted, obviously, this document, and I posted the original video that I took this document from. I literally is essentially a transcript of that video because I think it's easier to see because he talks kind of fast. You can watch the video as well, but here's a transcript of it, and I think it's pretty well organized. I'm going to write your thesis for you. When you write a thesis, and when we do this again the second time, I'm going to have to do less explaining. It'll be a little easier to do because it's a little more academic, of course, but this is a nice light way to start, honestly. It's kind of funny. So the thesis formula is located right here, and that's what we're going to follow. So we've written a thesis before because we've written them for an LEQ. Here we go. Despite Sadie's frustration with Philip's college plans, that's the alternative, okay? Philip, because I'm looking at my prompt again, I should have reread my prompt before I started. My prompt is evaluate the extent to which Philip's actions of including Danny in his life. That sounds so harsh. Making poor judgments and the lack of similarity in their approach to grades will cause his relationship with Sadie to end. Okay, so you have other people around you, yes. Despite Sadie's frustration with Philip's college plans, Philip's actions of including Danny in his life, making poor judgments, and lack of similarity in their approach to grades will cause his relationship with Sadie to end. As you saw, I took the groups that we've created, yes, and I just made them sound a little bit more coherent together in the context of the format, yes? Okay? So it's just a little bit more sophisticated and say academics. Okay? That's all I've done is make it a little bit more sophisticated. Okay? So you take your groups and you put it into a thesis format. It's coherent. It is providing a second, if you're trying to get the 7th point, which we'll talk about later, that's there for you. Now what we have, so it goes thesis, then contextualization. Contextualization is worth 1 point. Now, the next DBQ you are writing is slave trade. Will that be easy to come up with a contextualization or hard? Easy, because I've taught you all the ways up to it. We will be able to contextualize very easy. Is it easy or hard to contextualize about this fictitious breakup? It's going to be hard. So just give me some grace on this, yes? Okay? So your contextualization is 2 sentences, 2 to 3 sentences, using vocab terms to describe what is happening in the world at this time. So give me a little bit of grace on this because it's going to sound ridiculous, okay? Here we go. This is my contextualization. High school is a time of challenges both in the classroom and in the personal lives of its students. The balancing of coursework, future goals, and your current love life situation can cause drama, tears, and heartbreak. Perfect, done. Okay, so we're trying to calculate everything that can happen in high school, done. So it's not a perfect example, but when we do our academic one in 2 days, by the way, on Friday we'll start it. You'll write it over the weekend. Yeah, that's happening. Okay, so what we have done, ladies and gentlemen, looking at our Hemmler list, we have done our thesis. Got it. Contextualization is done. Now what we need to do is work on our evidence. Okay, so what we are going to do, the first paragraph, first body paragraph, we're going to look at our first group. The great thing is we've already wrote the first sentence. So here we go. This is my first body paragraph. Phillips, actions, contributed to the decline of his relationship with Sadie because her grades declined and his actions created academic dishonesty. Okay, so we have essentially laid out what this group is discussing, correct? Okay, so what we're now going to do is we're going to actually discuss every single document. Now, going back to your Hemmler's thing, you are never to quote the document. Do not quote the document. Do not quote the document. When your actual DBQ that you will write in May, the graders who will be grading that essay, they spend 2 days analyzing the documents. 2 days, 8 hours a day, 16 total hours analyzing the documents before they grade a single essay. Who's going to know them better? Someone who spends 16 hours looking at it or someone who did it for 15 minutes? 16 hours. So you are never to recite. You don't get any points for copying anything down. So never, ever, ever quote the documents. You are not just describing the documents. You have to use them to prove a point. Simply saying, well, this happened, so this obviously happens. You have to use it in an eloquent way. You have to be able to do it in an eloquent way and really prove it, and I'll show you how to do that, hopefully. Here we go. So we have decided to group document 1 and 4. So now I'm going to discuss document 1. So I'm going to open it up and make sure I'm looking at it. I'm literally going to say Doc 1. Doc 1 shows that Sadie's shows that Sadie's priorities changed from attending MIT. Isn't that what she says? So she wants to go to MIT? Yeah. Yep. From attending MIT to a person who wants more social time. That's pretty shitty, but that's fine. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, did I say that this is a document that is a transcript from the school? No. I'm literally going right into this document shows that Sadie's priorities change from attending MIT to a person who wants more social time. Immediately gets me the point because I clearly understand what the document is. Should I tell them that it's a transcript? No, they know it better than I do. Should I tell them that their class rank went from 5 to 19? No, because they already know that. What is the point that they included this document? They included this document to show that her academic priorities have changed. She no longer wants to be at the top of the class. She just wants to be pretty successful. There you go. So, once I've analyzed the document, now, somewhere on your paper, you need to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why? There's 7 documents, and every time you discuss them, what do? You strike them off, because guess what? You got to talk about them all. You have to acknowledge them all. Now, going back to my Hemmler's list, okay? You need to use the documents. As you just saw, I didn't summarize the documents. I used the documents. Document 1 is showing that her priorities have changed. She no longer wants to be an academic perfection. She wants to be someone who has an academic and social life balance. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I also need to do reasoning for 3 documents. 3 documents, I need to tell the historical situation, the audience, the purpose, or the point of view. This one is not one of the ones I really enjoy, but I will do it for the audience. Does that make sense? Because I know definitively who the audience of this piece is, isn't it? Who is it? College. The audience of document 1 are potential college admissions officers. They will see in the enrollment process that time management and academic success has had a role in her decrease of grades. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do I have to do this for every single document? No, but I have to do it for 3. So I would do 1 in every paragraph. Does that make sense? So for every group, I'm going to pick one that I know one thing definitively of. That's a college transcript. I know for a fact it's for colleges. That's why I picked it. Yes? I need to have 3 total. Now you could do 2 of the same. You could do it all in one paragraph, but I think that's real stressful. Yes? So you need to have your reasoning. It needs to be done on 3 documents in order to earn the point. So here we go. So I have now addressed the document by using it, not summarizing it. I have now included one of my happies. Okay? Now what I have to do is I have to create evidence from outside. So, evidence beyond the documents. Okay? Now, it has to be something that was not stated in the documents. Okay? I only need to do this twice. Okay? You need to do this twice. However, I think it's easier to do it once in every paragraph. Does that make sense? It's just one of those things that you think of and include. Every time you write a body paragraph, you need to have 1 reasoning. You need to have 1 beyond, and you need to have all of the documents it's talked about. Is everyone clear on that? I think it's just easier, and then remember, oh, I only need one of these, I only need one of these. Just do it, okay? So, what is some outside evidence that we can talk about for our boy Philip in this situation? What do you got, Hayden? You're in high school, people. You should know some outside evidence. Well, they kind of told us that because MIT and he's going to A&M.
Does this first blurb here, can we not use it?
You can't use anything that they provided. You cannot use anything. It has to be completely outside the context of what we know. Okay, so document 1 shows that Sadie's priorities have changed from attending MIT to a person who wants more social time. The audience of the document 1 is potential college admission officers. They will see the enrollment process and time management and academic success has had a role in her decrease in grades. That's okay. We'll move on. We still need outside evidence. We just can't satisfy it yet. That's fine. So let's go to document 4 because that's the next one that goes in this paragraph. So turn to document 4. Okay. Okay, document 4. Shows that Philip puts his academic needs before anyone else's. And does not and doesn't take consequences of his actions into consideration. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, am I telling him, the creator who knows this document better than I do, that he got Sadie kicked out of NHS? No. But what the document is telling us is that it shows Philip put his academic needs before anyone else and doesn't take the consequences of his actions into his consideration. Okay, so we've addressed the document. So what can I do? Cross it off because we got to keep track of every time we discuss it. Is there any outside information that we can pull in from this? What do you got?
You say that cheating is like a really big deal in high school and plagiarizing.
Yes, there you go. Plagiarism. In high school is highly punished. Highly punished, and universities will reject potential students due to academic fraud. And they will. They'll rescind offers all over the place if you get caught in a cheating scandal. For sure. Perfect. We got our outside evidence. Nice job, Hayden. Hell yeah. Okay. So, that is good. We are crushing it. So we have a thesis. We have contextualization. We're going to go through those a lot closer going through the next one, but they have done. What I really want you to do is focus on the actual essay paragraph. So for every single document, you need to address all of the documents. Going through, you need to provide one piece of outside evidence per paragraph. Okay, and then you need to have one of these per paragraph, and that will make sure you are covered for your 3 documents. Is everyone clear on that? So every time you do it, you need to have one piece of outside evidence and you need to have one of your happy in every paragraph. But you need to address every single document. Do not summarize the documents. Summaries of documents will not score. Saying, Sadie got kicked out of NHS because he copied. You don't earn any points for that and you are wasting time. Okay, the fact that he is putting his academic needs above Sadie, he needed an essay, she wrote the essay, he never changed it, didn't think of the consequences, that is what you were supposed to learn from that essay. Is everyone clear on what the expectations are? You have 2 bodies of paragraphs to write. You are writing one on Danny's involvement. You already have the first sentence written. All you have to do is copy it in and then begin analyzing the document. One of those documents, you need to include the point of view, the audience, the historical perspective, whatever you are solidly know that that is correct. Does that make sense? And then at the end, I think it makes more logical sense at the end of the paragraph to put in outside evidence. How much time do we have? 2 minutes. Why don't you begin writing? Because you can start right now by writing Philip's actions contributed. You already have the starter of your second. Guys, I just taught you how to write a DBQ in like no time. Isn't that exciting? Are we having fun? No? And you're supposed to do this all in an hour.
15 minutes.
Well, you're supposed to plan it in 15 minutes, but you're supposed to write it in 45. Whew. Yeah, it is awful, and your brain's gonna really, really hurt.
So you have to like
Do all of this.
annotate the documents, plan it, and write it all
Yeah.
in an hour.
They think you can do it in an hour. That's why I say it's gonna take you an hour and a half, which is why you only have a half an hour, 20 minutes to write your LEQ. Yeah. Once again, you signed up for this. Yes, I'm so proud of myself. Aren't you proud? That was some real